Hello and welcome to Preschool Storytime. I'm Miss Claire from the Chattanooga Public Library. Preschool Storytime is for children ages 3 to 5, but everyone is welcome. Today we are reading stories about owls. And our first story today is Good Night Owl, and it's by Greg Pizzoli. And this is published by Disney Hyperion Books. And I have something for you to look for not in the first page, but in every other page, we're going to look for a little tiny mouse, okay? Owl was settling into bed when he heard a noise. Squeak! It was a tiny sound, no louder than a whisper, a funny noise he hadn't heard before. Someone must be at the door, said Owl. Just a minute. But no one was there. Probably the wind, said Owl. And he lay down in bed and said to himself, Good night, Owl. Squeak! Then he heard the noise again. It's coming from the cupboard, said Owl. So he went to take a look. You see the noise? Is it in the cupboard? He emptied every shelf, but there was no noise to be found. Owl went back to bed. Good night, Owl, he said. And then he heard the noise. Squeak! It must be under the floor, said Owl. And he pulled up the floorboards one by one. You see the noise in his toolbox? But he didn't find the noise, so Owl went back to bed. Squeak! This house has a noisy roof, yelled Owl. And he took down the roof. There, said Owl. No more noise. Owl got back into bed, the stars and the moon shining down where his roof used to be. Good night, Owl, he said. But Owl didn't close his eyes. He didn't dare. He knew that any second he would hear the noise. He waited and waited and waited and waited. Squeak! It's in the walls, Owl screeched. I'll get you, noise, Owl said, and he tore down the walls of his home. But he found nothing. The cupboard was empty, the floorboards were pulled up, the roof was pulled down, and the walls were gone. Owl went back to bed, and he said, Good night, Owl. And then he saw the noise. Squeak! Owl smiled. He said, Good night, noise. And they went to sleep. The noise, the little mouse is on the bed with him. And that's Good Night Owl by Greg Pizzoli. Are you ready for our 5 little owls? I have got, let's see, scoot over a little bit. There we go. We will have 5. We're going to count. This is a counting up story. So a lot of times we count down from 5 to 1. We're going to count up from 1 to 5. What color is that owl? Might have to kind of scooch him off the board there. Scoot him there. The red little owl, number 1, was sitting on a limb. The second, the green owl, flew over to play with him. So we have 1, 2. What do you think is next? What color? Blue. The third owl, the blue owl, was calling. What do owls say? Ooh, ooh, ooh. The fourth owl, what color is he? The brown owl, kind of a tan brown owl, said, "I wish I knew." The fifth owl, the purple owl, says, "The sun's coming up," the purple one said. And there you go. And five little owls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all went to bed. We have red, green, blue, brown or tan, and purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have used my fingers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are our owls. And our next, are you ready for some rhyming stories? For a rhyming we will go? I think we're going to do that next. Get the big flannel board. And what kind of animals, what kind of rhymes do you think we should have today? Who's this? An owl. And he has, what can you think of that rhymes with an owl? I thought of towel. We have a parrot. And he has Miss Claire's favorite vegetable, a carrot. We have a fish and a dish. And our last one is a frog and a log. A frog, a dog, and a log. Although we could use frog would be a good rhyming word too. Maybe Miss Claire will have to get a frog. We could have a frog and a dog and a frog on a log. You ready for? Do you remember rhyming we will go? It starts to the tune of a hunting we will go, a hunting we will go, we'll catch it. All right. A rhyming we will go, a rhyming we will go, we'll catch an owl and put him on a towel, and then we'll let him go. A rhyming we will go, a rhyming we will go, we'll catch a parrot and give him a carrot, feed him a carrot. What do you think? And then we'll let him go. A rhyming we will go, a rhyming we will go, we'll catch a fish and give him a dish, and then we'll let him go. A rhyming we will go, a rhyming we will go, we'll catch a dog and put him on a log, and then we'll let him go. A rhyming we will go, a rhyming we will go, it's all pretend, and in the end we always let them go. What rhymes do we have today? We have owl and towel, parrot and carrot, fish and dish, dog and log. If you think of any others, I bet you can think of some good rhymes for Miss Claire. We always need more rhyming pairs for our board, don't you think? That would be lots of fun for me. Okay. Our next one, the next thing we're going to do is read a book, and it is called Wow, Said the Owl. And it is written by it's written and illustrated by Tim Hopgood, and it is published by Farrar Straus Giroux. And this is a book about colors, but I know you all know your colors, so you can help me out. At night, when we are feeling tired and ready for bed, owls are just waking up. They are nocturnal animals. They are awake at night. Owls live in a nighttime world. They have eyes that can see in the dark. Can you see the owl in the tree? But this little owl was a curious owl. Instead of staying awake all night, as little owls are supposed to do, she took a long nap and woke up just before dawn. And I'm going to need help because we're going to say, wow, said the owl a few times. It's the title of the book, too. Wow, said the owl. She couldn't believe her eyes. The sky was a warm and wonderful pink. What color do you think is next? What does the owl say? Wow, said the owl. What colors are your sun? As the yellow sun shone through the morning mist. What's next? Wow, said the owl, as white fluffy clouds floated across the bright blue sky. Can you see our little owl in the tree? Wow, said the owl, when she saw that the leaves on her tree were green. Wow, said the owl, as the pretty red butterflies flew by. She watched them land on bright orange flowers, which opened up in the warm sunshine. Up in the sky, the clouds turned gray and it started to rain, but the sun was still shining. Remember what the owl's going to say? Wow, said the owl, as a rainbow of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet filled the sky. The little owl sat happily in her tree and watched as the sun went down and the moon came up. The daytime is full of beautiful colors, she thought. But, wow, said the owl, the nighttime stars are the most beautiful of all. Too excited to sleep, the little owl stayed awake all night long, just like little owls are supposed to do. I think the beautiful blue sky with the sun and a rainbow, and the nighttime sky with stars and the moon. They're both beautiful. I like them both. What about you? Do you have a favorite? Our next story is a flannel story, and it is called Oliver's Wood. And you might see some similarities, some things that are very much like our little owl in Wow, Said the Owl. So I need to put some branches up. And what else do we need for an owl? A nighttime owl. How about, let's see what I'm doing here. I'm putting some stars up. What else do we need? Oh, we need a moon. And we need our owl. This is Oliver. There we go. When night falls and the moon and the twinkly stars come out, Oliver wakes up in the wood. And what does an owl say? Woo, woo. Other animals that wake up are the spiky hedgehog and the stripy badger. They wake up in the woods and snuffle about. Can you snuffle, snuffle? They are Oliver's friends. And he is also friends with the batty bats. Miss Claire didn't leave room for them. The batty bats. Oliver loves to fly with the bats. Zoom, zoom. Oliver and his friends played all night long. Then, when the moon, take down the moon, and the stars fade from the sky, what happens? It's time for them to go to bed, isn't it? But Oliver decided he would stay up because he was still awake when he saw the first little bit of the sun. He was very excited and he wanted to tell his friends. Remember the spiky hedgehog, the stripy badger, and the batty bats. But when he went to tell them, instead of a spiky hedgehog, there was what? A hopping bunny. Hop, hop, hop. And instead of the stripy badger, a squirrel. And when he went to tell the batty bats, instead of the bats flying around, who should be flying in the sky? Beautiful butterfly. Well, skitter scatter and hoppy hop went the bunny, and Oliver decided he really did need to sleep during the day, didn't he? So he was disappointed not to be able to tell his friends, so he went to his branch and went to sleep. Well, when the sun went down, and what comes up? The moon comes up, and we have our stars. Oliver's friends came back. And they said, "Hey, wake up, sleepyhead. It's nighttime. It's time for us to be awake." And Oliver woke up and shared with his friends, "I got to see the bright orange sun." And the badger said, "Wow." And the Batty Bat said, "Wee." And they were so happy for him. And what did Oliver hooted? What did he say? "Woo, woo, woo. Good job. You are very helpful teller. You can help me tell stories anytime." All right, what should we do next? I have a story, another book. This is by Jonathan Allen, and it is called I'm Not Scared. He has some wonderful books, but this is I'm Not Scared. Do you think the owl is scared? Maybe just a little bit. And this is published by Hyperion Books for Children. Baby Owl decided to take Owlie, his stuffed owl, for a stroll in the moonlit woods. "No one will bother us in the nighttime," he thought. Then up popped Badger. "It's only me," said Badger. "Don't be scared, Baby Owl." "What are you doing out so late?" she added. "It's past your bedtime." "I'm not scared," said Baby Owl, "and it isn't past my bedtime. I'm an owl, and owls stay up all night." Then along tripped Bear. "Oops, it's only me," said Bear. "Don't be scared, Baby Owl." "It's much too dark to be in the woods," he added. "I'm not scared," said Baby Owl. "I was taking Owlie for a walk, and I can see perfectly well in the dark." Then down came Bat. "It's only me," said Bat. "Don't be scared, Baby Owl. You shouldn't be out in the woods at night," she added. "I am not scared," shouted Baby Owl, "and I should be out in the woods at night. It's what owls do." She's throwing a tantrum. Then along came Papa. "It's only me," he said. "Don't be scared, Baby Owl." "I'm not scared," said Baby Owl. "Badger, Bear, and Bat keep saying I'm scared, but I'm not. It's Owlie who's scared. Everyone keeps making him jump." "We'd better give poor Owlie a hug then," said Papa. Baby Owl yawned a big yawn. "The sun's coming up," said Papa. "It's time you and Owlie were tucked in bed." Papa sat Baby Owl on his knee and read him his favorite story. Then he tucked Baby Owl into his warm, cozy bed. "It's okay to be a little bit scared of the dark," said Papa. "Papa means you, Owlie," said Baby Owl. "Good night, Owlie." And that's I'm Not Scared. Do you think you're ready for a math problem? It's not really a problem. I'm going to use the same branch we had before, and we've got some owls, and we are going to do some little adding and subtracting. And here we have one little owl sitting in a tree. Two came along, and that made three. Ollie, this is our first one. Ollie flew away, and now there are two. Two little owls wishing there were more. Ollie returned with a friend, and that made four. Four little owls played a game for fun. Three went to hide, and that left how many? One. Three went to hide. One little owl found them all, and one more besides. And how many does that make? when they came back, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 little owls. And that's our owl stories. Thank you so much for joining me for Preschool Storytime. I had a lot of fun. And I have something to show you if you want to make a craft. I made a snowy owl. So he's pretty much all white, although if you look close, he does have some little brown spots that I made with a crayon. What I did was take an oval and a circle, and then I cut parts of sides off another circle to make the wings and glued them down. And then this is just one facial tissue. And I tore it up into pieces, and I even had enough left to make a little bit of snow at the bottom. And then I made a little beak and 2 eyes. And that's a snowy owl for you. So if you feel like making a craft, that's a cute one. I had so much fun, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.